Welcome, my fellow students of the mind, right? Psychology students, students of the mind and behavior. So here we are. I'm going to come into the agenda here. I'm going to introduce to you via this tutorial. I'm kind of excited. I haven't done one of these tutorials in a while since I haven't been in the computer lab, but I really enjoy doing these things, and hopefully you guys like learning in this way. So we'll see. Let me know how you think. So we're going to work on the sleep project for this next section. The next section is all about consciousness, the different stages and states of consciousness. And of course, sleep is one of the states of consciousness. So I'm just in here looking at the project. And rather than doing a lot of typing, I thought I'm just going to make a video. And in the video, we'll talk about the project, and I'll kind of start it with you. So the first thing you're going to need to do is open up your online packet, the reading. Now, if you want a paper copy of it, let me know. I printed off some of them. It's a lot of printouts, but it's okay. If you want some, I can make those copies. But I thought just try it with online and see how it goes. It's nice online because it's all color. So this is the Introduction Consciousness and the Two-Track Mind. This is the part that we read together in class. It's kind of like the main sections of this. It's got a lot about consciousness. And what we want to do for this project, we're going to just focus in on this section, the sleep and the dreams. We're going to do that before break, try to get it done before Christmas vacation. And this part's going to be individual. So each one of you can do your own project for this. And then we come back, we'll do like a little group project for the rest of the sections. Do like probably like a little jigsaw, where each person or each group does a little bit, reads a little bit about it, and then they share together. So, but for now, let's just focus in on the sleep and dreams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to that part of the reading. All right, we're going to skip the first part for now. We'll come back to it when we come back. So you're going to come down to here. What is this, like page 8? It looks like. This is where it begins, sleep and dreams. So the project we're going to do is we're going to do another slideshow, Google slideshow, and we're going to basically outline this part of the reading using the Google Slides. And we're going to do it based on an inquiry model. Inquiry just means like questioning. So every slide, if you will, or section will be based on answering the key questions. It's a good way to learn is to start with the question, and then as you read, you're trying to figure out the answer to it. And of course, if you haven't noticed, this book is set up that way. It's set up, that was one of the ways it was teaching us on how to, a good way to learn and underline and outline the whole thing. So let's first go into our Google Drive. So I'm going to log in. If you're not already logged in, you log in. I'm going to go into my Drive, and I'm going to open up a new slideshow. And let's just give it a title right away. This is our sleep project. Let's just call it Sleep Project. Good name for it. Or Sleep and Dreams, really. It's really going to do a lot on dreams as well, so that's kind of cool. Sleep and Dreams Project. That's the title. Give it a little, give it a title slide. I'm going to pause it while I do my title slide. You make yours whatever you want. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got a nice little intro slide. I went out and found a nice picture, kind of very dreamscape-ish. So a nice title slide, you make that. And then what we're going to do on our second slide, insert a new slide. Where is that? I guess I could just right-click it. What we're basically going to do is we're going to go through the reading at the beginning, and we're going to just fill in all the headings of each section along with the kind of the key question that you're going to focus on for that section. And the nice thing about it is it's basically done for us. So look, sleep and dreams, that's just kind of intro. So there's going to be a little bit of reading about that. Not much to say. We'll read through that in a moment. I'm not going to do the reading right now. I'm just going to scan through it. So the first section is this section 3, biological rhythms and sleep. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight all that, copy it. If you want to get really good, then just don't copy and paste, but type it yourself. And I'm going to do that Control V. So biological rhythms and sleep 3. That's the third section. And the question is, I'm going to do a little Shift Enter. How do biological rhythms influence our daily functioning, our sleep? And maybe I'm going to change up the font a little bit. Maybe bold that out. You can do that. And I'm going to move that down a little bit so it's not interfering there. So that's me the first thing. And then the second thing is what I want to try to do is get you to think a little bit about each question. The questions, generally, we can put questions into three categories. They can be either viewed as factual. So I'm going to write factual. It could be conceptual. Conceptual, like, more like a concept. More like if there's like a big process going on or a bigger idea. Or questions could be viewed as debatable. Debatable. Am I spelling that right? I think so. So what I want you to do is to put that at the end of the question. I'm going to make it a little smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. And we're going to try to categorize what type of question is this. Is it factual, conceptual, or debatable? So I want you to just basically think about this question a little bit. How do our biological rhythms influence how we daily function, how we function each day, and more importantly, how we sleep and how we dream? So in my mind right away, that's going to be more of a kind of a factual stuff. I'm going to be learning a few facts, but also kind of like a process, like how's it all come together. So it's a little bit of factual and conceptual. Not really probably a lot to debate about right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight, and I'm going to bold those two things out and change them to colors just to kind of signify that that's basically the type of, that's, the question we're focusing on in this section is kind of a more of a factual based question with some concepts, just kind of like what's the overall concept. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just list any and all the key words that are in this section. So the key words, spell that. And I'm going to come back to the reading. There it is. You can tell the keywords because they're always in bold. Circadian rhythm, circadian, C-R-I. I'm not even going to worry about what it is. I'm just going to put it in here. We're going to figure that out later. That's one of the keywords. Let's go back. Is there another one? Looking down. The keywords will always be bold, and they'll also usually show up in the column. Now, circadian rhythm doesn't show up until down here, so it comes on the next page, but that's okay. And then that's it. Now, there is nothing else bold here in this section. This section's over right here. It's a short section. There is this biological clock in the little diagram. Maybe that could come into play, maybe not. I'm going to leave it off for this one. And that's all. There's only one key word for this whole section. Then I'm going to add one more slide. And now in this slide, I'm going to go ahead and copy that question over again. Can I get in just there? There it is. And this section here, so that was Control C and Control V, what I did. I'm going to leave this one blank. This is what I'm going to come back to later. And once I start to read that section and outline it, I'm going to do my talk to you text. Then I'm going to create here a little summary and answer the question. So this is where I'm going to actually think a little bit more about this question, and based on what I read, I'm going to answer it. How do our biological rhythms influence our daily functions? So right now I don't care. I'm just going to move on to the next section. So insert a new slide, come back to the reading. Next section, here it is, sleep stage is section 4. So I'm going to highlight, copy it. I think you're going to start to get the idea. Come over here, paste it in. Sleep stages, that's section 4. I'm going to do a little shift enter, make a little break. What I do last time, keep it consistent. Then I made the heading, I made that bold. Where's bold at? And then the question I left blank. What is the biological rhythm of our sleep? Now I'm going to fill in, is that conceptual, debatable, or factual? So I'm going to just copy that part right out of the one before, come into here, paste it in. Oh, it made a new text box. I don't like when it does that. I'm going to Control Z undoes it. I guess I got to click into here first. Increase that box. See, the two boxes are overlapping. I think I need to move that box down so one's all by itself there. Now I can get into it better. Okay. So what is the rhythm of our sleep? The first question is, what's our overall biological rhythm? Right? What are our overall biological rhythms, and how does that influence our sleep? Now we're getting more deeply just into sleep itself. So once again, I'm going to keep it with, there's going to be some facts I'm going to learn probably about, and then some concepts, bigger concepts, how those facts kind of come together. And now I'm going to list the key terms. Now in this section, I know I previewed it. There's a few more key terms, so that's good. So when I come back to the reading, the first one I see is REM sleep. I see it over here too on the right where it actually defines it. But I'm not worried about the defining, I'm just going to list it. REM sleep. I'm kind of starting to build some associations. Go to the next one. You know what you could do is, could bullet it out. Why not? Where's my bullets? Where are the bullets at? There they are. All right, REM sleep is one. I'm going to scroll down. So I'm just kind of previewing this, scanning through it. Okay, alpha waves. It's bold. And I'm going to double check. Yeah, there it is down here. So that's another key term. Alpha waves. You copy and paste it, or just type it in. I'm doing that Control C and Control V. Then the next one was the word sleep itself. That's good. So we're going to define what actually does it mean. I mean, everybody knows sleep, but how would they define it? And I'm going to keep scrolling. Looks like they're going to talk about different brain waves. So I'm just kind of scanning through it. Oh, hallucinations, another key term from this section. Hallucinations, probably they're talking about like dreams themselves. They're like hallucinations. And then we talk about delta waves. Alpha waves and delta waves. What about gamma waves? And then they're going to go more into REM sleep. I'm still in the same section. I'm just scrolling down, looking through. Okay, now this is interesting. Why do we sleep? I didn't leave the section. See, I'm still in section 4. Section 5 is the next one. But it's kind of like a subsection. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So those are, I got all the key terms from this. But I'm going to add, this is going to be like another whole new slide, I guess. I'm just going to make a note of it. Control V, not V. So that's going to, and if you think about it, so this is kind of like the beginning of the section, sleep stages. I'm going to make another new slide to actually write down the answer to that question. Insert new slide. Copy that first question. What is the biological rhythm of our sleep? And move that down a little bit so they don't get confused. There. Give some space between those two. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to look back. I mean, there was a lot of reading. There's like 4 pages of reading that went into explaining, addressing that question. So there's obviously going to be, I'm going to need some space for this to answer that. What is the biological rhythm? I'm not going to answer with one bullet. When you're answering the question, you want to incorporate all these key terms. That's going to be part of the answer. So it's going to, you want to take your time. It's going to be, you want it to be a very complete. It's almost like you're writing a tiny little essay, but you're going to just do it with bullets, to kind of make it simple. So maybe you do a second slide. So I'm going to right click and duplicate it. So now I have 2 slides ready. There they are right there. In the second slide, you might want to put something like continued. And oh, by the way, when you actually start to do the work, you may need a 3rd slide. That's okay. Or maybe you don't need to. You can get rid of one. So you can modify. I'm just kind of setting it up. And then I'm going to have this one here too, and maybe make sure I realize this is still section 4. Why do we sleep? And that's just kind of ready to go. So do you get the idea? If you're feeling good, pause the video, just work on your own. If you want to see me do one more, I'll do one more together. If you're good to go, maybe you just fast forward it to the end. I'll just do a little bit at the end. So I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to go ahead and insert in a new slide. I'm going to come to this next section in my reading, which is going to be coming down. Here it is, the effects of sleep loss, section 8. By the way, how many sections are there? No, section 5, sorry. How many sections are there altogether in this section? Sleep. Sleep disorders. Hey, what happened to 7? Oh, there's 7. Sleep theories, sleep disorders, dreams. Why do we dream? And then that's it. So there's a lot of sections. So sleep, this is going to take us a while. So let's go back to where we were. We were on, probably should have previewed it right at the beginning. The effects of sleep loss. So I'm going to copy that. Paste that in. Do a little shift enter. Make that box a little bit bigger. Make this box a little bit smaller so they don't get in each other's mix. I'm going to bold that out. Where's the bold at? And then I'm going to decide if that question is conceptual or debatable or factual. And hey, you know, you can always change your mind. After you start to answer the question, you can think, you know, that actually was quite debatable. Because debatable would mean like they don't really know. There's still a lot of different theories. So like that one section, I think, where it said that different, wasn't there a section where they talked about the theories? That would certainly be debatable. Sleep theories, right? What is the sleep's function? There's going to be different theories. People don't know exactly what is the function of sleep. So that's definitely going to be a debatable question. So the effects of sleep loss. So this one, how does sleep loss affect us? I think that's going to be more factual, conceptual. Maybe it's going to be a little bit debatable. There'll be maybe some things that some people will like, hey, it doesn't affect me that way. You know, it can probably change, but we'll see. And then I'm going to list the key terms. List the key terms. Maybe bold them out again. Where's my bullets? There they are. Come back over here. And I'm looking for the bold words. And it looks like drowsiness. Now that's not it's kind of being highlighted. It's not putting it as a key word, but I might just go ahead and include that, especially since there's no other key words in the section. So we could include drowsiness just to make sure that when we're talking about the effects of sleep loss, we make sure we talk about drowsiness, because that's obviously, you know, what happens when you lose a lot of sleep. And then we're going to go ahead and make a new slide where we're going to actually try to answer that question in a thorough, kind of complete way. So insert new slide. Come back up here, copy that question. All right. So this is phase 1. You're going to just go through the rest of it, all the sections of sleep. When you're all done, you're not going to have anything, like you're not going to put any answers in yet. You're not going to try to answer these questions. You're just writing them down, thinking about it a little bit as you go, getting all set up, picking colors if you want to change, you know, make it look better. And then when you're done, just share it with me. Boom. And that'll be phase 1. So that will be boop, this part here, phase 1. Just do that. Hopefully that won't take you more than like half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know how long it'll take you. Heck, it took me 15, 20 minutes just for this. So then when you're done with that, you're going to move on to phase 2. But phase 2, you're just going to start to read it and try to answer the questions the best you can. So if you have any questions, let me know. And hopefully this video wasn't too long and everything works out good for you.